simple graph transformations. So we have the graph of y equals cos x, and we want to work out the coordinates for the maximum and minimum points. So there's a maximum point here, and there's a minimum point here. And we're working with angles in this interval. So we have a maximum point here, coordinates, x is 0, y is 1. Another maximum, x is 360, y is 1. A minimum point, x is 180, y is minus 1. Part B, the graph is transformed to y equals 1 plus cos x. So this is telling us to move the graph up by 1 unit. So the graph was here, that's the original graph, and we move it up by 1 unit towards the positive y direction. And then we work out the new coordinates for the maximum and minimum points. Part C, cos x is transformed to 3 cos x. So the original equation there has been multiplied by 3, and that's telling us it's a times 3 stretch in the y direction. Any y coordinate that we know has to be multiplied by 3. So that was 1, that was minus 1, so that's now 3 and minus 3. Part D, cos x is transformed to cos 2x. That's a times a half stretch in the x direction. So we take the original graph, every x coordinate that we know on the graph is multiplied by a half. So the new x coordinates, so without actually redrawing the graph again, if I remove the old x coordinates and then replace them with the new ones, and these are all half of the original x coordinates. So we get this graph. This is the graph of y equals cos 2x. Part E, the graph of y equals cos x is transformed to y equals cos a half x. So this time we have a times 2 stretch in the x direction, which means all of the x coordinates are multiplied by 2. We need to multiply all of the x coordinates by 2. So I'm going to replace these values with these new values here. So this is now the graph of y equals cos a half x. Part F, the graph of y equals cos x is transformed to y equals cos x plus 45. This is a translation in the x direction, and it's in the negative x direction. So I need to translate this graph, the original cosine graph, this one here, I need to move this to the left by 45 degrees. So we get something like this. This is now the graph of y equals cos x plus 45. Part G, cos x is transformed to minus cos x. That's a reflection in the x-axis. So this curve will be replaced with this one, like so.